This thing is not about me somehow, just something that I have, distinct from me. Or I have ADHD. There's this thing called ADHD with a life of its own, with characteristics of its own, with a trajectory of its own. And then there's me over here. And I have this thing. But actually, the ADHD is a manifestation of my life. It's a process that's happening inside me. The multiple sclerosis is not a separate thing with a life of its own. It's a process that's happening inside me. The addiction is not a separate thing that I have. It's a process that's happening inside me, which means that if I change the process, I have a way of affecting this thing that we call disease or addiction or anything else. So it's more or less of a separation between myself and what's happening inside me. And even the language, I am an addict. It identifies the person with a particular habit or with a particular dysfunction. Well, there's some honesty to that, and there's a value to it, because it means I'm no longer in denial. So that's a good thing. So when somebody at a 12-step meeting stands up and says, I'm so-and-so and I'm an alcoholic, well, that's honest, and that's taking ownership, and that's good. But there's also a risk in it, is that people identify with a particular set of behaviors and a particular set of imprints and patterns. Nobody is their dysfunction. That's not who anybody is. Nobody is a victim. Nobody is an addict. That's not who anybody is.
Right. So to follow that logic in the context of 12-step, identifying as an alcoholic, hi, my name is Rich, I'm an alcoholic, there is a baked-in notion in that paradigm that once an alcoholic, always an alcoholic, that you are in recovery, but you will never be recovered. And I think that drives that level of self-identification with the disease, using the disease paradigm. But your logic would depart from that, or your thesis departs from that, in the sense that if the underlying trauma is resolved, if you heal that inner child and whatever is driving those behaviors, that you can indeed be recovered. Well, and along the way, avoiding self-identification with this can be a tool to aid in that healing process. So that's your kind of departure line from traditional 12-step.
It's more radical than that, actually.
Yeah.
Yes, it's true what you say, but it's also more radical than that. First of all, let's look at this word recovery. What does it mean? It means to find something. When you recover something, you find it. If I talk to anybody who's recovered from addiction or even illness, very often, I ask them, what did you recover? What did you find? They said, I found myself, which is the whole theme of the book, is that the loss of self in this culture is the source of pathology. So that self is always available to be recovered. That's the whole point.
But I just
want to finish this.
Okay.
Because even somebody who's heavily drinking right now, if they say I'm an alcoholic, I say, no, you're not. That's not who you are. You're a person who's in so much pain right now that you're using the alcohol to numb your pain. But you're not, that's not all who you are. So that there's not just a recovered person who's no longer an alcoholic. Even the alcoholic is not an alcoholic in the sense that I'm talking about right now. Yes, they're drinking. Yes, they're hurting themselves. Yes, they're destroying their lives. That's all true. Can't be denied. Needs to be acknowledged. But what if we outlawed the word addict, and you couldn't say about anybody that so-and-so is an addict? What if you had to say about them, so-and-so is a human being who suffered a lot in life, and then right now they're trying to escape from their suffering to this particular behavior? That acknowledges the truth without identifying the person with the behavior.
Yeah, I get